Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss about the topic name called network security concepts. Under network security concepts, we are going to see the following subtopics. That is, first one is network security concepts, virus, types of viruses, worm, Trojan horse, spam, cookies, and then firewall, cybercrime, cyber law, intellectual property rights issues, and ways to protect intellectual property and hacking. So these are the subtopics we are going to see under this network security concepts. Network security means what? It deals with policies which are adopted by the network administrator to protect the network from unauthorized access. Without permission, some people will be accessing the network computers. So that is going to be protected with the help of the network administrator. He will follow some of the policies. Okay, and he will protect misuse of network resources also. It also ensures that authorized users have adequate access to all the network resources. So at the same time, authorized users will have the permission, or they will be able to access all the network resources. That also is going to be ensured by this network security concepts. So next one is virus. What is mean by virus? There is a full form for virus. That is vital information resources under SIES. That is a full form for virus. If you observe that your system is taking longer time to load the applications or any kind of programs, and it shows unpredictable program behavior, so we cannot able to predict when it will open, when it will how long it will take to open on particular program. So if there is any behavioral changes in your program, so that is also a kind of virus indication. And then shows inexplicable changes in the file sizes. So file sizes, no, it is growing or it is shrinking. So these two extreme levels are going to be indicating this virus affection. And then has inability to boot. So system will be having inability to boot properly, and has a strange graphics appearing on your screen. So in your computer screen, strange graphics will get appear, and this could be because of your computer being infected by your virus. So these are the reasons or symptoms when your computer is infected by the virus. What is virus? Virus is the malicious program that attaches itself to the host program. So we are going to see many kind of malicious softwares like this, but virus is a thing or malicious program which will attach itself to the host program. So it is going to attach it with the host program. It is designed to infect the host program and gain control over the system without owner's knowledge. So it will gain a full control over the system without the owner knowledge. So the virus gets executed each time when the host program is executed. So whenever we are executing the normal program in our computer, virus also will get executed along that. Also, it has the tendency to replicate. So it will increase in multiple copies. It will increase like a multiple copies. That is only called a replication. So that means duplication. So it will create its own copies multiple times. They can spread through external media such as CDs, browsing infected internet sites. So if you are browsing infected or virus affected internet sites, through that also you may get a virus, or you may download some viruses without knowing. And from email attachments also the virus will be spreaded. So what are the types of viruses we have? First one is boot sector virus. These viruses infect the boot sector, that is booting sector of floppy disk or hard drive. So normally in hard drive we will have a OS operating system program, or booting softwares will be located in the hard disk drive. So that booting system is going to be affected, booting system software is going to be affected by this virus. By replacing or attaching itself to these programs, it will infect the entire system. This is called the boot sector virus. And file virus will be getting attached to the MS-DOS, that is Microsoft Disk Operating System program files, like exe files and .com extension files will get infected by this file virus. And macro virus, normally it will replicate and infect the Microsoft Office program suite, mainly MS Word and MS Excel. It will affect these kind of softwares, that is macro virus will affect the MS Word and MS Excel related files. So what kind of symptoms we will see when we are using MS Word and MS Excel when it is getting attacked by the or infected by the macrovirus? The virus, it will insert unwanted words or phrases in the document when we are typing or when we are using this infected MS Word. And what is worm? The worm full form is write once, read many. So once if we are writing that virus program, it will be replicated many times. So it will be read many times. Worm is also malicious program like a virus, but unlike virus, it does not need to attach itself to the host program. So it is like independent object. It uses security holes in the computer networks and it will replicate itself. Okay, it will replicate automatically on its own. It will find the security holes in the network. A copy of the worm, no, it will scan the network for any kind of security holes or any other machine that have a specific security hole. If any machine is found with some security holes or any vulnerabilities is there in that system, it will make use of that vulnerability or weaknesses of the system in order to gain access of the machine. So it copies itself to the new machine using the security hole and then start replicating from there as well. So like that it will go continue to the other machines also. So that is the work of this worm. And next virus is Trojan horse. It is a program. It is also a malicious program only that contains hidden malicious functions. Initially it will be looking like a legitimate program, that is like a good program it will be looking like. So with the help of that legitimate appearance, it will enter into the system. When we are installing some kind of applications, it will also get attached with that application and it will get installed in our system. Once installed on a system, they reveal their true nature. So then only it will show its true nature and it will causes the damage. Some Trojan horses will contact a central server and report back all the informations like passwords, user IDs and captured keystrokes. So if you type any keys, any type of keys in a keyboard, that is also going to be captured and it is going to send to the hacker, unethical hacker. And Trojans lack a replication routine and thus are not viruses by definition. So it is not having a concept of replication. Okay, so worm will replicate itself, but it was an independent object. But Trojan, it is lacking a replication routine. So and it is known as, it is not comes under viruses by the definition. Next is spam. So what does the term spam means? Spam means endless repetition of worthless text. So the useless text, it is going to be repeated for a longer time. That is only called as spam. In other words, unwanted messages or mails are known as spam. At times, this comes under denial of service attacks. Spam will comes under denial of service attacks. So normal service or normal work we will not able to do because of unwanted mails or messages. Continuously if it comes and if it fills your inbox, you will not be able to read your own proper mails also. So it is wasting your time and it is wasting your it will waste the network bandwidth also. The frequency which is allotted for the channel which is allotted for the useful work is going to be affected or filled up by this unwanted mails or unwanted messages. So at times internet is flooded with multiple copies of the same message. It is nothing but the spam. At the same time, if the internet is flooded or filled with multiple copies of the same message, it is going to be said as spam. So most spam is commercial advertising. In addition to wasting people's time, spam also eats up a lot of network bandwidth. And next one is cookies. Cookies, this is also one kind of a small program. When the user browses a website, a web server sends a text file to the web browser. This text file only is known as a cookie, and generally a cookie contains the name of the website from which it has come from and has a unique ID also. So cookie will contain the name of the website from which it has come from which this cookie was generated, and then unique ID tag also will be there. And some cookies last only until the browser is closed. So it will be existing until the browser will get closed. They are not stored on your hard drive. They are usually used to track the pages that you visit so that the information can be customized for you for that visit. So whichever websites you have gone through for a particular period of time, all those references you can use it for a future purpose. On the other hand, some cookies are stored on your hard drive until you delete them. So some of the cookies will be stored on the hard drive also. Until you delete them, it will be residing there in the hard drive only. So or else some cookies will be there until it reaches their expiry date. These may, for example, be used to remember your preferences when you use the website. So these cookies are going to be used for remembering your preferences when you use the website again. Next is firewall. Actually, it is a hardware or software based network security system. So with the help of the firewall, we can prevent unauthorized access, that is hackers or viruses, worms, extra to or from the network. So firewalls are used to prevent unauthorized internet users to access private networks connected to the internet. So both inside and outside, that is inbound, outbound, all ways going to be examined by this firewall. All data entering or leaving the intranet pass through the firewall, which examines each packet and blocks those that do not meet the specified security criteria. Whichever packet is not meeting the security criteria, it will be blocked by this firewall. It examines all traffic routed between the two networks to see if it meets the certain criteria. If it does, it is routed between the network. That is, it can travel between the networks. Otherwise, it is going to be stopped. A firewall filters both inbound and outbound traffic. Both will be filtered by this firewall. It may allow all traffic through unless it meets a certain criteria. So if it is meeting certain criteria, it will allow all the traffic through that way, through the firewall. Otherwise, it may deny, it may ignore all the traffic unless it meets a certain criteria. Next is cybercrime. What is cybercrime? Actually, the criminal activity can be done with the help of the electronic devices like computer or mobile phone. So like those electronic devices are going to be used for some kind of criminal activity or illegitimate purpose. If you are using the computer to harm the other people, other users, that is only known as cybercrime. It is defined as a crime in which a computer and internet is used in an illegitimate way, that is improper way, to harm the users. Cyber criminals may use computer technology to access the personal information and business trade secrets, or use the internet for exploitative purpose, that is damaging others' resources purpose or malicious purposes. If they are trying to use the computer technology, those persons are called as cyber criminals. Cyber crimes can be against persons or against property or against the government. So it may occur against a person, a particular person, or against one property also it may occur, or against the government also the cyber criminal activity can be done. So list of cyber crimes includes harassment by computer, that is cyber stalking, continuously sending threatening mails or messages to one person to harass them, and defamation means giving bad name to one particular persons by posting negative comments about them on the social networking media. And next one is pornography, and that is showing naked people videos or pictures in the social media. That is only called pornography. That is also one kind of cyber criminal activity only. Then illegal downloads and plagiarisms. Like illegal downloads in the case downloading without a permission of, that is pictures, movies and all we are downloading, that kind of activities need to be avoided. That is also a kind of illegal downloads only. And plagiarism, software piracy, pirated software downloads, that also kind of illegal downloads. And then plagiarisms means stealing other concepts or other ideas. So from a website, any contents if you are getting and editing and posting the same content after editing, with our name, that is only known as plagiarism kind of plagiarism activity, that is cyber criminal activity only. And then software piracy, counterfeiting means selling the same software in a lower price, or getting same software in a lower price, that is software counterfeiting. And copyright violation of software, and counterfeit hardware also getting in a lesser price compared to retail price. The price will be very very less, so that will be having a loop security holds. The hardware whatever we are buying in the less price will be having security holds, or through that security holds any kind of damage can be occurred to the entire network or a system. And software also, counterfeit software also is there. And then theft of equipment and new technologies. Next one is credit card fraudulent activity, and then fraudulent use of ATM accounts, and then stock market transfers, telecommunication fraud, and theft of electronic money. So these are all the cyber criminal activities. In order to uh, work against this cyber criminal activities, we are having this cyber law. So cyber law, it is an attempt to integrate the challenges presented by the human activity. So whatever challenges are presented by the human activity on the internet, with the legal system of laws is going to be applied to the physical world. And there was no statute, that is a statute, that is written law in India for governing cyber laws involving privacy issues and jurisdiction, that is having control over the legal decision issues, and then intellectual property rights issues, and a number of other legal questions. There was no written law in India. So with the tendency of misusing of technology, there has arisen a need of strict statutory laws to regulate the criminal activities in the cyber world and to protect the true sense of the technology. That is Information Technology Act 2000, that is IT 2000, was enacted by a Parliament of India to protect the field of e-commerce, that is online transactions, and then e-commerce business, and then e-governance, and then e-banking. So to protect these fields, Parliament of India has enacted this act, that is Information Technology Act 2000, as well as penalties and punishments in the field of cyber crimes. So they have imposed these penalties also and punishments also in the field of the cyber crimes. The above act was further amended in the form of IT Amendment Act 2008. So that is ITAA, that is Information Technology Act. ITA 2000 was further amended in the form of IT Amendment Act 2008. So in the IT Act, the word computer and the computer system have been so widely defined and interpreted to mean any electronic device with the data processing, any kind of electronic device with the working of data processing capability, performing computer functions like logical, arithmetic, memory functions with input, storage, and output capabilities, and therefore any high-end programmable gadgets like washing machine or switches and routers used in a network can all be brought under this definition. So with using all these devices, any kind of criminal activities, if it is done, that can be punished under, the persons can be punished under this IT Amendment Act 2008. So cyber law, some of the cyber offenses under the IT Act are tampering, that is unauthorized alterations with computer source documents, that is section 65 is another offenses under the IT Act. And then hacking, section 66, publishing of information which is obscene, that is against moral principles. Any kind of information is going to be published, that is posted on a social media in an electronic form, that is section 67 Act will be posted against them. And then intellectual property rights issues. Intellectual property rights are the rights given to individual over the invention of their own. So any new invention if they are making, so for that invention, this rights will be given to them. They usually give the creator or an exclusive right over the use of his creation or her creation for a certain period of time. So they will be having this intellectual property rights for a certain period of time in order to for creating that product, or exclusive right they will get over the creation of for a period of time. Next, ways to protect intellectual property. So what are the ways we can protect the intellectual property? First one is by patent. So giving patent. What is meant by patent? It is a term used for a specific product designed by an individual. So if you are designing one particular specific product, so for that we can get a patent. So the designer is given exclusive rights over the patent for a limited period of time. With the help of a patent right, the owner can stop others from making or using, selling the product design. So after getting the patent right now, we can the patent owner can stop the others from making or using that product design or selling that product design to others. Then owner can take a legal action if someone else uses that patent. So if they are not they are violating that rule, and the owner can take the legal action if someone else uses that patent without his permission or her permission. In order to obtain a patent, the following conditions should be met. So the product should be new one, and it should be capable of being made or used in some kind of industry. So it should be used by some kind of industry also. It should not be a scientific or mathematical discovery. It should not be a dramatic or musical, dramatic or artistic work. So next is trademarks. What is meant by trademark? It is a name or a brand name, a different sign or a device identifying a product or a service. So the product or the service is produced or provided by a specific person or a company. So trademark is also known as a brand name. So brand name will be given to a specific person or a company, and whatever services or product if they are producing, for that the brand name will be given. It should be officially registered and legally restricted to the use of specific persons or a company. One particular person or a company can get this trademark or a brand name after registration officially. Okay. And then copyrights. It is a term used for a written document. So written documents only this copyright will be given. So legal action can be taken if copyrights are violated. So the following category of work can be considered for copyrights. That is literary work, literature works, and musical works including any accompanying words, and then dramatic works including any accompanying music, pantomimes and choreographic works. That is pantomimes means it is related to entertainment industry only. Then pictorial, graphic and sculptural works, motion pictures and other audio visual works, sound recordings, architectural works, computer programs and websites. So in these areas or works we can get the copyrights. Next is hacking. So the term hacking was first used at MIT during 1950s and 1960s. Mainly this hacking initially it was used for the purpose of harmless technical experiments and fun learning activities only. They have used the name called a hacking. The term was used for people who engaged themselves in this kind of harmless technical experiments and fun learning activities. A computer enthusiast who uses his computer programming skills to intentionally access a computer without authorization is known as hacking. So they will not they won't have a intention to damage other systems resources or other system also. So that person only known as hacking. The computer enthusiast involved in this activity is known as hacker. Hacker accesses the computer without the intention of destroying a data or maliciously harming the computer. Another term commonly used with hacking is cracking. So cracking is different from hacking. This is unethical activity. This cracking is unethical activity, can be defined as a method by which a person who gains unauthorized access to a computer with the intention of causing damage. But here hacking without the intention of destroying data or maliciously harming the computer, that person known as hacker. And the person who involved in this kind of activity with the intention of causing damage to the other computer resources and gaining unauthorized access is known as cracker. So thank you. With this we will end up today's session. With this all computer networks topics everything are over. Thank you once again.